Okay, so till now we have discussed CDM and roundtable conferences, and then how Government of India Act 1935 came into play. And then I also told you Gandhi was focusing now on social emancipation, social reforms, etc. And as per Government of India Act 1935, elections were held, and in 1936, 11 state governments got formed, and these all state governments were very much independent. And even at center, diarchy was introduced, and that 70-80% of India's independence we have got in 1935 Act itself, and remaining handover of power that happened in 1947. And so when this was happening, okay, Subhash Chandra Bose became president of Indian National Congress. Gandhi tremendously opposed him when he became president on one point, and because of which Subhash Chandra Bose had to resign. So what was that point, and later on what happened with Second World War and Hitler, that I will discuss with you first. And so guys, when Subhash Chandra Bose became the president of Indian National Congress, he brought one bill, okay, to declare Indian National Congress as a socialist organization. And as I told you, okay, that UPSC had asked question in general studies part in history, that during Gandhian era, different voices rose and strengthened in Indian National Congress. Explain or critically analyze. So I told you that Gandhi never wanted Indian National Congress to have any ideology. Ideology of Indian National Congress will be political independence, social emancipation, and constructive program. Only three in that order. But Subhash Chandra Bose was of socialist inclination, wanted socialism to be the Indian National Congress ideology. And that's what, because if you declare Indian National Congress as a socialist organization, automatically, then what will capitalists will do? Then they will go towards the Britishers. And what about other conservatives and all other parties? And so Gandhi wanted Congress to be a unified platform, and that's why he very severely opposed Subhash Chandra Bose, and he never wanted to abolish capitalism. Okay, because he knew that we needed capitalism, we need this wealth creator class, we need business classes. Okay, and by destroying them, okay, we can't have only socialism. And that's why in Gandhian socialism, okay, it was mix of both Adam Smith ka capitalism idea and Karl Marx ka socialism. So when we will discuss Gandhi's idea on economics, technicality in our app classes, there I will discuss with you this entire structure between Gandhian socialism and Marxian socialism and Adam Smith ka capitalism, and what was the how Gandhi tried to bridge this capitalism and socialism, and why he never wanted to destroy capitalist class and ensure communist revolution. And so that technically I will discuss later. But this was the major point, and that's why then Subhash Chandra Bose resigned from the Indian National Congress and formed the Forward Bloc, a socialist organization. But at that time, guys, okay, though Gandhi opposed Subhash Chandra Bose on this ground of socialism being the, to declare socialism as a ideology of a Congress, he also brought another reform or another resolution that Gandhi did not oppose. And that resolution is very necessary to understand Subhash Chandra Bose and his ideas. And that resolution was, I told you there was a dual membership of Congress. Person of any political party can pay 1 anna and can also become member of Congress. And many people were members of religious parties like Hindu Mahasabha, Muslim League, Sikh League, etc. They were also paying 1 anna, joining Indian National Congress and doing politics, communal politics on the ground of Indian National Congress. And so, okay, Subhash Chandra Bose abolished this double membership of the Congress and kicked out all these people, okay, from the Congress who were member of any communal party. And he made sure that only people, okay, only those people can become the member of Indian National Congress by doing this double membership. Only those who belong to the secular parties, not to the communal parties. And all these member of Hindu Mahasabha, Muslim League, Sikh League, any communal party you belong to, religious party you belong to, Subhash Chandra Bose kicked them out of the politics, okay, or out of the Congress. And so guys, later on most of you will ask me, or generally they ask me in offline class, that why Gandhi chose Nehru, not Patel, as India ka president, etc., prime minister. So guys, sometimes I feel that instead of Nehru or Patel being India's prime minister, okay, India's first prime ministers should have been either Bhagat Singh or Subhash Chandra Bose. Because had they been India's first prime minister, guys, I don't know how much India would have got developed or so on, but one thing would have definitely happened in Indian politics. These people were extremely communist in orientation, socialist in orientation, and one thing must have happened with the guarantee that religion, okay, would not have been there in Indian politics at all. Okay, because these people, had they been the first prime ministers, okay, first thing that happened in every communist state was destroy the religion and get rid of the religion from the politics. You have no idea, in Russia, when communist revolution happened, number of clergy class that got murdered in the communist revolutions. Okay, even Stalin had one brigade, and if any person in your village or town talks that thinks he is a god man and advocates something related to God, you just have to call that brigade. That people will come and they will bring that person to the city ka chowk, and they will tell him that call your God or whatever. I am shooting the bullet, and try to save yourself by calling your God. And you don't know how many people they have murdered in the Russian Revolution. Even if you ask Russian students in the school that is there a God, and these Russian kids used to tell that God was there before the revolution, but then got murdered in the revolution, and now there is no God. So that's how communists deal with the religion. And had this Bhagat Singh or Subhash Chandra Bose had been the India's first prime ministers, okay, don't know about economics or development and other thing, but definitely there would not have been any religion in Indian politics, for sure. And even in his volumes that Subhash Chandra Bose has written, he has clearly held a position: no democracy to India after independence. Next 20-30 years, no elections, nothing. Okay, next 20-30 years, okay, first we will get rid of all caste, class, sex, religions, and everyone will be equal. And only when an equal society we can have the democracy. Okay, we will not have a democracy in an unequal society. And he was clearly of the opinion of this equality. And so whatever, but later on then Subhash Chandra Bose resigned from the Congress, formed the Forward Bloc, and during that time period the World War II started. Hitler attacked Czechoslovakia, then Sudetenland, Czechoslovakia, Poland, etc. And I guess with attack on Poland, Second World War it has started. Now when Second World War started, in India, I told you we had independent state governments, central maybe a lot of ministers were there. And this, without asking them, without consulting them, without bringing this issue into the parliament, Governor General of India, Linlithgow, declared India as a party to the war from the sides of British Allied forces, to which lot of Indian National Congress leaders opposed. And they, because you are not consulting us, then what's the point of we being minister or in parliament or so? And so Indian National Congress leadership started to resign, and all Congress ministry resigned during that time period. And when last Congress ministry resigned, okay, in last provinces where they resigned, Jinnah played a very systematic politics with that. And Jinnah, okay, declared that when last Congress ministry resigned as a deliverance day. He said now, okay, when British are going to face Hitler, one of the very formidable enemy, their independence is at stake, okay, we should show our loyalty to the Britishers, and in return, okay, British will scratch our back. And he showed that Deliverance Day he celebrated to show support of the Muslim League in this world war from the British side. But Congress wasn't ready to support. Congress was very dominant political party, obviously then. And so to get the support of the Congress, okay, lot of then proposals came, August Topper, Cripps Mission, and so on. But during that time period, then Subhash Chandra Bose, who was under house arrest, left India. He went to Afghanistan, and then from there he wanted to go to Russia. But unfortunately, he couldn't get entry into Russia. And he thought that now this world war is going on, with the Russian support, we will have communist socialist revolution in India, we will get India independent when Britain is busy in the war. But unfortunately, this did not materialize. And then he has left the house arrest. News has spread across India. British were told to keep a watch and arrest Subhash Chandra Bose. And even now when he was in Afghanistan, news reached Afghanistan. Even Afghanistan, British police were looking for him. And so then to avoid the arrest, okay, he couldn't wait more to get his contacts established with the Russian people. He entered the German embassy, and from there he was taken to the Germany. So it wasn't his original plan to take a Hitler's help. Okay, it was the accidental it worked in that way. And so when he went to Germany, guys, first of all, why Gandhi did not take help of Hitler, you need to understand this very well. Okay, and so we don't have to even speculate why Gandhi did not take help of Hitler. Okay, Gandhi clearly had a maintained position that Hitler is a threat of humanity, and so we have to fight against him. But we will fight against Hitler, we will support Britishers, but on an honorable cooperation. We can't fight as a colony, we will fight as an independent state. Okay, Hitler is threat to humanity, and so he can't be anyone's friend. Okay, and just to tell you, large population of India doesn't know the real history of Hitler, what his opinion were on Hitler. So there is one very awesome book published by Vaibhav Purandare, okay, Hitler and India. So do read that book, and here he has presented Hitler's opinion about India in a very lucid way, and very with a lot of proofs and backing from, or whatever he has written in Mein Kampf or so on. And so just to tell you that what was Hitler's plan of the world in his Mein Kampf, what he has written, and then you will understand why Gandhi was opposing Hitler. So see, in Germany there were a lot of races like Saxon, Slavic, Jews, a lot of people, different people, and largely European royal families belong to the Saxon race. Saxon is a region from Germany. These Saxon people went to London, and they were called as Anglo-Saxon. So Britishers in America were Anglo-Saxons. They occupied the Britain. Even this Saxon royal family was ruling in Russia. So Tsars of Russia who were murdered during the revolution were belonged to Saxon family. So all royal families of Europe largely were from that Saxon family they belong to. And same these Britishers who went to there, replacing Scottish, Irish who used to live in London, and they occupied the London. So Britishers में जो white people who went, Anglo-Saxons, and they replaced the Scottish, Irish to control of London. And this division or problem between British and Irish or British and Scottish is still going on. You must have heard about Scotland undergoing referendum for separation from the Britain. And after that Scottish referendum, okay, which was like the people voted not to have a separation, and so Scotland, London, Britain remain united. Now this Anglo-Saxon people of London, they also went to America, and America mein jo white population that is there was also this Saxon branch. And so what Hitler was thinking was that Saxon is the most evolved race, and all these three countries, Saxon, Germany ka Saxon, Britain ka Saxons, and America ka Saxons, they should come together and they should dominate and rule the entire world. And this Slavic population of Russia, this Putin ke people of Russia, they are Slavics, Scottish, Irish, Jewish, okay, Polish, all these people, he said, Swedish, etc., these are the inferior races. And what he did with the inferior races, okay, polluted races, even he called, that most of the Saxon and these people have married Saxon Jews, etc. Now he murdered 60 lakh Jews in the concentration camp. And not only adult people, he murdered old people, he murdered women, even 2-3 month ke babies were given injection and were murdered. And suppose there is a marriage between German and a Jew, then he had given a chart how to identify German kid and Jew kid. You have to take your kid to the doctor will study the facial feature characteristics, and he will give certification that whether your kid is German more or Jew more. That time biology wasn't so advanced to understand that 50-50% comes from father and mother. So if doctor give a report that your kid is German, he will survive. If kid is Jew, he will go to concentration camp. And that way he killed even 2-3 months ke babies. So person who could kill 2-3 months ke babies ko bhi, he can't spare them. Okay, he can't be anyone's friend. Okay, and this is what he did to the inferior race that he used to consider polluted races. Do you know what Hitler has written in Mein Kampf about Indian people or African, Asian, black or colored races, what we call black, brown people? In Mein Kampf, he has referred to us as a subhuman species. So subhuman species means, okay, we are not even a human. We are species between chimpanzee and human. We are still undergoing evolution. We haven't even evolved yet. We are just little bit evolved from chimpanzee. Okay, not even evolved human race, subhuman species. And even for India, there is one statement in Mein Kampf that inferior bastards seeking their salvation in polluted water of Ganga. This is what he called as inferior bastards, the term for Indian people he used. Okay, people who he haven't met in his life. This was so much hatred he had for these Asian African people. And you think Hitler's madat leke, help leke, India gets independence and Hitler going to give or treat Indian people in a very good manner. When he murdered khud ke white population of Europe, Just considering because they are inferior races, he murdered 60 lakhs of them. What would have he done to subhuman species that he used to call, okay, to the Indian people or Indian population? And that's why, okay, Gandhi was clearly knew that Hitler is humanity's threat. He can't be anyone's friend. And even Subhash Chandra Bose knew about this. So when he gave, okay, his letter, when he met, Bose met Hitler, okay, he clearly, gave him one letter application asking him to remove these references about India from the Mein Kampf. Even Subhash Chandra Bose was aware of those references. But his logic was now enemy is enemy, my friend. Okay, utilitarian logic he was working on, that if Hitler ka madat leke, if end goal is good, India's independence, then let it happen. And so he gave the letter, if India and Germany is to work together in World War II, then you need to remove these references from Mein Kampf. And so Gandhi was very clear cut about not taking Hitler's help. And Gandhi also said that this war is not war of India's independence, this is the war of humanity. And Britain and we have been together in this world, okay, for last 150 to 100 years, even if they are ruling us, okay, but this is not India's war of independence. Gandhi knew in 1935, I told you, 70-80% of India's independence has already came. Remaining whatever independence is remaining will come today, tomorrow, or 10 years later. So Gandhi clearly said we shouldn't be greedy of India's independence, and we, okay, should be working, okay, in and help the allied forces to fight against Hitler, his threat of humanity, and we shouldn't be bringing our interest and linking it with the World War II. So we will fight, and clearly, okay, from the British side, but only on honorable cooperation, and told you to get this honorable cooperation, proposals that came, August Topper, Cripps Mission, uske baad CR formula, Gandhi Jinnah talks, Bhulabhai Desai Liaquat Ali Pact, Wavell plan, uspe Shimla conference, and then finally cabinet mission plan and eventual independence of India. Okay, so 7-8 proposals came that you can study in the modern Indian history, all these proposals, what came in those proposals. And see, that time, we don't have to even speculate why Gandhi did not take Hitler's help, because he clearly has written, okay, 2 letters then to the Hitler. And in that, he clearly appealed him not to engage in this war, because a lot of devastation that it will bring. And he clearly maintained position and told Hitler that maybe today you are talking about creating very hyper-nationalistic Germany, patriotic German nation and so on. But in tomorrow, in your country, people or races will come, and when they will look back on your past, no one, okay, will look back on your past with any moment of pride. And that's what happened today. Gandhi got proved correct, because after 70-80 years of after World War II, okay, almost 80-90 years have been passed, okay, no one in Germany, okay, even feels any kind of respect for the Hitler. Rather, German kids think that how idiot their great-grandfathers were, great-grandmothers were there. How could they murder these Jews so brutally? How could they launch such a devastating war, violence on the world? And Germany everywhere still saying sorry for all the war crimes that they got engaged into, or their ancestors did. And in Germany, there is not a single road named after Hitler, not a single statue of Hitler, or single scheme like Hitler National Employment Guarantee Act. And that's what even Germany generations today, okay, these kids or whatever German people today we have in Germany, their ancestors used to think they are doing great thing by building this Nazi party ka Germany. Okay, but their loyalties were towards the political party, not towards the nation. Their loyalties were towards the political ideology, not towards the Germany as a nation. And that's why you need to be very careful, okay, because these hyper-nationalistic people, okay, has done more damage to their country than doing any good. So you should not be having any loyalty to any political leader. Doesn't matter how much you like that political leader or that political party. You should be loyal to the nation, not to the leader or a political party. Political party come and go, nation stays. And there was a very awesome statement by one one America ka president, I guess Lincoln or someone, that patriot must be ready to defend his own country, okay, against his own government. If you are really patriot, then you should be ready to oppose your own government if it is doing wrong. Your own, any political party who is ruling, doing something wrong, and take the side of take a neutral side. And so these hyper-nationalistic people, the way Nazi people destroyed Germany. No one looked back on their past now with any moment of pride. That was what Gandhi has written to Hitler in his letter. And also Gandhi told Indian people that this is not war of India's independence. We shouldn't be bringing our interest into World War II. And even if we bring our interest in World War II, we take help of Hitler, and even if India gets independence, there is no guarantee because Hitler lost the battle. And now imagine, had India fought from the Hitler side, okay, and India has lost, do you think Russia, America, China, all these countries would have spared India after fighting from the Hitler side? And so Gandhi knew, he was deontologist, he believed in means not an end, and end is not in our control. Okay, whether with help of Hitler we will win India, we will win independence or not, no guarantee. Hitler will win World War II or not, not guarantee. Only thing that is in our control, okay, is means with which we approach independence. Okay, and so Hitler's help, okay, can't be the means for, and doesn't matter how good end is, India's independence. Wrong is wrong. And secondly, Gandhi clearly told even Indian population, Indian leaders, other leaders, that we can take help of Hitler, India may get independence. But maybe in future, our generations will come in our country, future generations, and who will ask us when they will look back on the past, that how could you take help of person, monster like Hitler to get India independence? And that time, we will be speechless. And maybe today, we might have been asking Hitler, okay, our generations, or we would have been asking Gandhi, Nehru, Patel, Bose, all of those people, that how could you take help of Hitler to get India independence? 150 years you tolerated British, okay, then why you did not tolerate British 10-20 years more? And you waited for independence 100-150 years, then why you did not wait for independence 10 more years? Okay, but why you took help of Hitler? And that's what Gandhi was saying. And tomorrow, when this history, okay, they will raise this question on the history, we will be speechless. And so it was clear cut for Gandhi not to take help of Hitler. And he wanted to support British, but on honorable grounds. And so August Hopper Cripps Mission, all these proposals came. Okay. And now when this was happening, okay, eventually then all World War ka matter happened. 1941 May, they sent a Cripps Mission. And I told you, in Cripps Mission, okay, it was as good as Declaration of India ka independence, constitution making body entirely made up of Indians. Only deadlock was, the British said, we will hand over independence after war. Gandhi said interim government, so he called it post-dated check on crashing bank. Nothing then materialized after Cripps Mission collapsed. And after this Cripps Mission, the next 2-3 years, Subhash Chandra Bose went to Berlin, and then from Berlin to Japan, and he took the command of INA. And now INA was reaching or coming to India to get India independent. And then last year, 2015 ke around, one Sanghi guy went to Supreme Court, asking that who gave Gandhi Rashtrapita ka title, we should abolish this title. India ka constitution says abolishment of titles. And so that time, okay, when government, Supreme Court asked government to submit its say, and the government replied that there is no such a law in India, okay, that calls Gandhi Rashtrapita or gives that title of Rashtrapita. Then where this name came from? And so when Subhash Chandra Bose went to Singapore, he took the command of INA, and when INA was going to come to India to get India independent, he has lot of brigades, where he named one brigade Mahatma Gandhi brigade, one brigade he named as Jawaharlal Nehru brigade, one brigade he named as Jhansi Ki Rani brigade. So if Subhash Chandra Bose was hating Gandhi so much that because of him he has to resign from Congress or so on, why would he name one of his brigade as a Mahatma Gandhi brigade? And not only that, when he met Hitler for asking for help, okay, so that time Hitler ke cabinet mein people said to Subhash Chandra Bose that we might help you or agree to your points and support INA, but what is the guarantee that after going to India and after you liberate India, okay, Gandhi will support you, or when you will attack India, okay, and repel the British or fight against British, Gandhi will support you? To which Subhash Chandra Bose had replied to the Germany ka cabinet, to Hitler's cabinet, that in every family there is always a dispute, because they said you and Gandhi had so much of dispute. You have to resign from the Congress because of Gandhi. So what is the guarantee that Gandhi will support you when INA will reach, Azad Hind Sena will reach India? To which Subhash Chandra Bose said that every family there is a difference of opinion between father and son, Like that, I have difference of opinion with Gandhi. And like in every family, father and son solve their disputes on their own. I will solve my disputes on my own with the Gandhi. This is not the business of outsiders. So you just decide whether to help INA, Azad Hind Sena or not. How, after going India, how to convince Gandhi, that's my task, my job. Okay. And so much he was respecting Gandhi that he was calling him referring him as his own father. And same Subhash Chandra Bose, when he took command of INA, when he gave his speech on Berlin radio, there was a statement that he used that the holy war of India's independence has begun, and in this holy war, Rashtrapita, we need your blessings. So this term Rashtrapita was used by Gandhi, okay, for Subhash Chandra by Subhash Chandra Bose for Gandhi on that Berlin radio then and there. So all these Sanghi people who use Subhash Chandra Bose against Gandhi, okay, he is the person who called this person Rashtrapita. Okay, now going ahead in the history, then World War II ended, INA got defeated, later on World War II got ended, Japan pe bhi nuclear bomb was dropped, and World War II ended. Now British realized that they can't control any colony, and it was largely Britain has got destroyed. Everyone want to repair and reconstruct their nation, and from everywhere they were pulling this, and internationally it was agreed. All this happened because of colonization, all this war and violence, and so world had tolerated World War I, World War II, but new wars will be disastrous. And largely there was international opinion to reverse colonization, give independence to all the countries, and subsequently all the countries who got independence, okay, doesn't matter anyone who fought or not, or did revolution or not. So whether we get independence because of Gandhi or not, I told you many countries who got independence without fighting, also they got the independence. Issue wasn't independence, issue was the nation building. And how this nation building process, okay, or what they meant by that, large part I told you till now. But in conclusion, you will understand this in much better way. But as independence was approaching, you know, partition of India happened, you can study about all that history of partition, etc. But understand, don't even blame, okay, anyone for the partition of India, okay. And especially these three people, Gandhi, Nehru or Patel, they don't at all carry any blame for partition. Why? Because if you think partition of India happened on 14th August or like whatever in 46, 47, that's very stupid understanding of history. The real partition of India happened, okay, in not 1947 May, it happened in 1916 during Lucknow Pact. What are the provisions of Lucknow Pact? In 1909, Morley-Minto reform was passed. Muslims were given separate electorate. And 1916 May, you agreed to that separate electorate. ये जो Lucknow Pact था was Himalaya से भी बड़ा blunder that was signed. What are the provisions of Lucknow Pact? And these 3-4 provisions of Lucknow Pact, Jinnah always used in every point में, he brought those 4-5 provisions. If this provision, then only we will discuss next part whether we will remain united or not. And what are the provisions of Lucknow Pact? That communal electorate will be legalized. We will legalize the communal electorate. So you are saying that India ka interest is not Muslims' interest. If you give Muslims separate electorate, then only they will fight for India. You are agreeing to this demand. Then doesn't matter what will be election ka result, there will always be 1/3 Muslim ministers in the central government. Second provision. Third, okay, if there is any communal veto, like communal bill, like regarding like uniform civil code, ban on triple talaq, etc., comes to the discussion, then it can't be passed without 3/4 of the majority of the Muslim MPs who are there present and vote in support. Then only this bill can be introduced in the parliament. What we call communal veto. So what I mean by that, suppose India, Pakistan, Bangladesh is together. Total Delhi mein, Lok Sabha mein, there are 1000 MPs, out of which 400 are Muslims, 600 are Hindus. And if uniform civil code is to be brought, then first these 400 Muslim MPs will vote. Out of that 3/4, means 301 should agree that uniform civil code is necessary for Muslim community, and only then entire parliament can vote. So regarding religious bills, you are giving communal veto to any political party. Okay, you are agreeing even to such a points. And so all this provision of in Lucknow Pact were as good as, okay, separation of Pakistan. This execution happened in 47, but it start okay, of separation was signed in Lucknow Pact. And when you study Lucknow Pact history, some part of modern Indian history, I can go in detail. You will understand what I mean. And who signed this Lucknow Pact? Okay, Nehru was doing lawyer's degree in London. Okay, Gandhi, I told you in Lucknow Pact pe, he was given the last position to speak during this conference. So Gandhi haven't had any weightage in the Congress. Nehru, Patel were out of the picture. Okay, so then who signed Lucknow Pact? Just check. It's the extremist leadership of the Congress. So Hindu extremist leadership was signing with that, with the Muslim League leadership. Okay, we scratch your back, you scratch our back. And that same Hindu extremist leadership, guys, largely those leaders, okay, who brought religion into the politics during Swadesh and so on, they were signing this with the Muslim League. And later on, when Gandhi became dominant after Champaran, Ahmedabad, Kheda, during NCM, most of this leadership understood that India stands with the Gandhi. They understood their position, their level, and most of this orthodox Hindu extremist leadership resigned from the Congress, and subsequently 1922 Hindu Mahasabha and RSS got formed, and 24 ke around Hindu Mahasabha got formed. Okay, all of them got expelled, or they themselves resigned from the Congress, forming their own religious political party, because Congress now under Gandhi was, okay, very secular, going to be secular organization. But the damage that did in Lucknow Pact, okay, when Motilal Nehru gave his report against Simon K report, okay, Motilal Nehru report, Jinnah criticized that report Motilal Nehru ka with 14 points of Jinnah. All these 14 points में 3-4 points that you will read are the same Lucknow Pact के. When Gandhi Jinnah talks happen, CR formula पे, they are the same point Jinnah के, Lucknow Pact के points with some additional points. Wavell plan when Shimla conference, same argument. And so eventually what was agreed on Lucknow Pact was irreversible damage to India ka unity, integrity, and eventually it ended up into partition. But these people tried, okay, as much as they could to stop this partition, okay, but unfortunately it couldn't, or they couldn't. And then India got independence, India got partitioned, okay, and then lot of bloodbath happened. There were riots were happening. Jinnah called for direct action day, and because of this bloodbath and to stop this bloodbath, finally Gandhi, okay, and everyone agreed, and finally partition got materialized. So till now I told you the part how India got independent, partition that happened, and there was a lot of bloodbath also. And so when this was happening, India May Independence Day was getting or being celebrated. And so mostly, most of the time people ask why Gandhi chose Nehru as a first PM, not the Patel or so on. So I told you that if you ask this, then that means you agree that Gandhi was so powerful that he could choose India's first PM. And he was so powerful to choose India's first PM, okay, then he could have said that I will be the first PM. But forget about being India's first PM or president. Gandhi never held any political post, okay. Rather, okay, he wasn't even in Delhi on the day of this flag hoisting when India got independence. Had he been in Delhi, okay, instead of Nehru, despite being a first prime minister, he would have given that honor to Gandhi to hoist the national flag. But Gandhi that day wasn't even in Delhi. He was in Naukali, okay, near Kolkata, in Bangladesh-Bengal border, stopping Hindu-Muslim riots. And here you will understand one Gandhi's idea that eye for an eye makes whole world blind. Ka to concept hai. A lot of time they will ask you simple quote or essay on that. And they have asked one essay on this idea. And this will give you a clear picture what this Gandhian ideology. So when Gandhi used to go to that war or riot-stricken area, there he used to bring people who has fled the villages. He used to bring them back, solve their differences, okay, create communal harmony, and then he used to go to the next village. Even British, okay, or Indian government couldn't do so much that what Gandhi did alone. And that's why Mountbatten even called him one-man army. And see, here don't blame Nehru for whatever riots were happening in those regions. See, law and order was a state subject. From 1935, I told you there was state list, state governments were independent. Law and order was a state subject. And so, even in today, anything riots happen in Maharashtra or your any state, then who is responsible? CM or PM? Obviously, Chief Minister of the state. Police is answerable to him. He holds the law, maintains the law and order. Same way, Okay, all riots that were happening, local government that was there was responsible, not Nehru, and Nehru was maintaining the same position. Until chief ministers there, local government don't request me to send a military. I can't take a military action, can't send the military or intervene using central forces. So then whose government was there, okay, at that local level? And if you check the history from 1940 to 44, I guess, okay, वहाँ पे there was a government, this joint government of Hindu Mahasabha and Muslim League. Shyama Prasad Mukherjee was one of the member, okay, in Liaquat Ali ka Bengal ka government. So I told you that Hindu radicals and Muslim radical, we scratch your back, you scratch our back. Let the riots happen, let the people die. Okay, and now you have got a Muslim Pakistan, so India can be made a Hindu state. And that all this politics was going on. And these people, and especially Gandhi, was trying, okay, to solve this, stop this violence, because in all this politics, common people were getting murdered. But these differences between Hindu Muslims were so wide now. So whenever any area he used to go, people didn't want Gandhi to come there and solve the disputes. Everyone wants eye for an eye. And so when Gandhi used to go to those areas, people used to throw, crack the glass bottles in his path, okay, or throw any obstacles. And so when the people used to do that, Gandhi used to remove chappal and walk. And by only seeing Gandhi do this, people used to come and fall at his feet. And one such incident in Naukali that I will tell you, and that when Gandhi was there, violence in Naukali was very high. And so Gandhi decided to go on fast unto death. Now his age was almost 75, 76 year old. He can't even do such a fast. He might die. And largely he used to stay in Muslim colony in some Muslims' house to build a confidence between Hindu and Muslims. And so when he was on fast, okay, 5-6 days have been passed, his health was deteriorating a lot. And so then out of pressure, moral pressure, a lot of people stopped rioting. And then a group or mob of some Hindu rioters came, and they thrown their swords or weapons in front of Gandhi. And among them, there was one guy, okay, who came forward, and he had a bread, one roti in his hand, and he thrown that roti at Gandhi, and he said, eat. And he said to Gandhi that in this riot, I know I am going to go to hell, because in this riot I have killed a lot of Muslims, and I know I am going to go to hell for that, but I don't care. Even if I go to hell, okay, these Muslims killed my family, killed my wife, killed my children, and in revenge I have murdered a lot of Muslims. And so even I go to hell for that, I don't regret. Okay, but I don't want to go to hell because you did a fast and died because of me. I did not stop the riot and you died because of me. I don't want to go to hell carrying that sin. So eat, break your fast. And so when he said that, Gandhi just replied to him that no one knows who goes to hell, who goes to heaven. Only God knows that. But I will tell you, okay, or show you the way out of the hell. So go back to Naukali, go back to the areas where these riots have happened, people have got killed, and check if there are any kids, okay, whose parents have died or got killed in these riots, and then save those kids, take them home, okay, and raise them as your own kids, and ensure or be sure that if there is any Muslim kid, okay, then raise him as a Muslim. And when Gandhi said this to him, okay, that guy fell at Gandhi's feet and cried tremendously, because he realized major mistake that he did, because when his family got murdered, okay, in revenge he murdered a lot of Muslims. But the point is, eye for an eye makes whole world blind. And any sensible person's duty in such a war, violence and riots is not to go on killing more people in revenge, but rather to save more people from getting killed. And that's what he should have done, and what Gandhi was telling him to do even in next actions may. And that's why this eye for an eye makes whole world blind. And after stopping all those Naukali violence and so on, Gandhi came to Delhi. He was in working from Delhi. He was in Birla House, and when he was there, okay, there was a lot of then one attack happened to murder Gandhi 5-6 days just before he was actually killed. And when that happened, okay, everyone was requesting Gandhi to take a security bodyguard. Patel was home minister. Okay, the duty to save Gandhi was largely of Patel that way, as a being a home minister. And so he was extremely requesting Gandhi to have a security, but Gandhi totally refused. Gandhi has lost any interest in life. because he built entire national movement on a non-violence. Okay, and he saw so much of violence in Naukhali, in all this in India-Pakistan partition mein, that he has lost interest in life, and he said, anyone wants to kill me, he can kill me. I haven't done anything in wrong in my life, and so if anyone wants to kill, they can kill. He refused to take a security. And so later on, Patel once came to meet him, and when Patel came to meet, okay, Gandhi, after their meeting, he wanted to go to parliament, he had some work. Gandhi requested him to stop for a prayer meeting. And Gandhi, but he had to go urgently, so he left. And when he reached the parliament, he got a news that Gandhi was shot dead. And it was a bit shocking thing for Patel, this news. But when this Nathuram Godse shot dead Gandhi, now first of all guys, understand, in your family, if there is some 80, 90-year-old person, even if you don't like him, okay, will you even slap or kick that person? If Nathuram Godse was so brave, then instead of killing 80-year-old, security-less, bodyguard-less person, he should have went and killed Jinnah. He should have killed other Britisher. Okay, he was a Napunsak who killed a 80-year-old person. As simple as that. But even when he killed Gandhi, okay, just 2-3 days before his death, Gandhi has written in his autobiography, whose name My Experiment with Truth, his last experiment with the truth. And his last experiment with the truth, the lines that he has written was that tomorrow, if murderer comes and kills me, shoots me in the chest, and at that moment, instead of God's words on my lips, if there is a hatred towards my killers, then understand, okay, I got defeated in my own idea of non-violence. And so, you know, when Nathuram Godse shot him dead, okay, his last words were, Hey Ram. Now, this incident, it was a bit shocking for the Patel, because no one will blame him, but responsibility to secure Gandhi was of Patel's. And Patel that moral guilt that he couldn't carry. And Patel, in next 1 month, okay, his health deteriorated tremendously and he had a heart attack. But his daughter and secretary took a quick action and took him to the hospital. His life got saved, and he wrote a resignation letter to Nehru, owing responsibility of Gandhi's death. And when Nehru got this letter, he came to meet Gandhi, meet Patel in the hospital, and he kept the resignation back in his hand, and he just told him that we are now point in a history, a time in a history, okay, where father has lost his, nation has lost his father, and even I has lost my father, because Nehru used to consider Gandhi as his father. And so at this moment where nation has lost his father, I have lost his father, it's your duty, okay, to act as a father for this newly independent nation, and act as a father to me and guide me in this independent, to govern this independent India. Okay, and he rejected this resignation. And then Nehru, Patel, when he got recovered fully, he came back, took the charge of Home Minister again. And you know all this integration of princely states and everything that happened. And so what happened between the relation between Patel, Nehru and Gandhi. And now, so after all this incidents, so have we able to create India that these people wanted? Okay, did we able to create this India, or what nation building Gandhi wanted to achieve? Okay, have we able to achieve that? So that part I will discuss and will conclude this debate. And just to then conclude this part, okay, I would like to tell one small incident that in 2012, okay, when Manmohan Singh was Prime Minister, Obama came to India. He gave a speech in India ka Parliament, and where he has written one message that heartiest congratulations to the largest democracy in the world from oldest democracy. So America ka oldest democracy 1775, India ka largest democracy, okay, the biggest democracy that we formed in 1947. Now, this message he wrote in one golden book is there in India ka Parliament mein, and at night Obama and Michelle hosted India ke MPs of Indian Parliament in PMO, and when they were hosted, okay, there was one officer, one MP from Communist Party, I guess Sitaram Yechury, and Sitaram Yechury went to Obama and he said, whatever you written in that golden book message was wrong. Now Obama was surprised how it's wrong. We are the oldest democracy, 1775, first democratic country. You are the largest democracy. Then Sitaram Yechury said that your country got independence in 1775, but it took you 100 years and 1863 में civil war to abolish slavery. So 100 years in your independent country, slavery was going on. And after 1863, it took you 100 more years, and 1963, when Martin Luther King Jr. Did a protest for black people's rights, bus march he conducted. He was Gandhian disciple, and the way Gandhi had Dandi march, he carried out bus march. And in 1963, finally your parliament passed a laws, giving equal right, constitutional, legal, political rights to black people. So you got independence in 1775. 100 years in your country after independence was slavery, and uske baad slavery was abolished, but no equality was there. 100 more years to get equality, and 1963 mein finally you become democratic republic. He said India, who got independence in 1947, and in 1947, irrespective of person's caste, class, sex, religion, each and every person got equal democratic, constitutional, legal, political, democratic rights, irrespective of his caste, class, sex, religion, place of birth. Our democracy is older than you, and our democracy is more mature than you. And so the point that I told you, that how when we say this creation of constitution and constitutional democracy, this nation building process, what they did, teaching people how to live in democracy, behave in a democracy. And aaj bhi, when two people have any quarrel, any issue, always say, let's go to the police station or sue in a court instead of taking law in their hand. And that is what this mentality, these people taught, to the Indian population. And so this, teaching the democracy to the Indian people, the idea these people wanted to show. And such a one more incident, that during 1958, around that time period, when Cuban Missile Crisis and everything was going on, Kennedy visited India. And when Kennedy visited India, Nehru was introducing him to the members of parliament. And there was, after 56 election, first one MP from Jana Sangha, that is Atal Bihari Vajpayee, has got elected for the first time from opposite party. But when he got elected, and when Nehru introduced Kennedy to Atal Bihari Vajpayee, he said, meet the future Prime Minister of India. He did not send ED ka raid to arrest Atal Bihari Vajpayee or ensure, or to offer him money so he can cross the party and join his party. And this is what, this tolerance these people had. But that's not more important incident. The more important incident is, there was next MP who got elected from Communist Party from Kerala. And now see, Communist Party of Kerala, America ka relation with Russians then, communist and capitalist. In America, there was red terror was going on. And this Cuban Missile Crisis was very breaking point that could start the Third World War. And at such a point, there was extreme hatred in capitalist minds about communist people. And here Nehru was introducing Kennedy, was capitalist country ka president, to a communist MP. So Kennedy just in surprise looked at Nehru, and Nehru just smiled and said to Kennedy that you have put your communist into jail, I have put up my communist into the parliament. And so whatever they do, do it in a parliament, through a constitutional legal means. First, get elected, go to the people, face the election, prove your point to them, get elected, and come to the parliament and make the laws. No revolution on the street. And that time, guys, it was largely believed when India got independence, and many British political thinkers were also saying to Gandhi or other leaders that if we ever leave India, India will get ruled by the goons, the criminals. But one thing Gandhi knew, that whatever happens in India, definitely India will never get ruled by goons and criminals. And also one prediction was that India will undergo communist revolution, because India ke border pe Russia, China was there. India was extremely oppressed country with lot of inequality, with religious oppression and casteism ke oppression, etc. India had a fertile ground for this communist revolution. But one thing Gandhi knew, or all other people knew, that whatever happens in India, India will never collapse as a democracy. And one thought was that as a democracy, as a concept, you can introduce in any country. India can also get a democracy, but it survives only in those countries which are economically rich, who have power economy to satisfy all groups' demands. And if this is not possible, then it will collapse into democracy will collapse. And that's why, okay, when this democracy will be there, India mein democracy will not survive, and it will end up into civil war or some kind of political takeover by army, or goons, criminals will come to rule. But that 70 years after independence, guys, forget about taking over by military or anything like that, any political crisis, India managed to survive, okay, this all democratic crisis, and finally, okay, we remained as a democratic republic nation because the way they have created the foundation. And Jinnah created a Pakistan out of violence. And see, if you don't have one Rashtrapita of your country as a sensible person, what damage it creates. You can just look at the Pakistan. Now, Gandhi used to think, Jinnah used to think he is the Gandhi of Pakistan. He is like, he is as great as Gandhi. And so, Gandhi never fights the election. So, he said, I will also never fight the election. Yes, but Gandhi never fought the election. He wasn't even Sarpanch, MLA, MP or PM president. So, Jinnah also didn't want to face the election, but he wanted all power to himself. And so, Jinnah created a constitution in Pakistan where, okay, Prime Minister will be elected by the people. This Prime Minister will appoint a president, and accordingly, Liaquat Ali got elected. Liaquat Ali appointed Jinnah as a president, and this Jinnah, okay, in a constitution made a provision that he can remove, appointed president can remove the elected Prime Minister. By creating this constitutional defect, Jinnah died. Liaquat Ali appointed new president. That president removed Liaquat Ali, and from that time till today, okay, almost 14 or 15 prime minister or 11 prime ministers in Pakistan, not a single one completed his full term. Okay, even this Akram, okay, he even couldn't clear, what his name I forgot. So that guy even couldn't clear his complete term. But India may, okay, such a crisis had never happened, constitutional crisis. In 10 years, military took over Pakistan. Okay, and even despite being same religion, I told you Pakistan, Bangladesh couldn't stay even together. But after 60-70 years, despite so many caste class religion, India remained united and we survived as a democracy. One constitutional crisis got created during Indira Gandhi's time period when she brought emergency. And let me tell you one incident, why these people were nation builders. So when she brought emergency, okay, IB gave her a report that military is planning to take over because no one was powerful enough to challenge Indira Gandhi and remove her from the president post, and that remove the emergency. And only person that was powerful was India's military chief, okay, Field Marshal Manek Shah, or Sam Bahadur, what we call Sam Manek Shah. He has won 71 ka Bangladesh-Pakistan war mein, and he separated Bangladesh from Pakistan. He was extremely charismatic leader. And even Indian army soldiers used to like him a lot. And if he wanted, he could have easily, okay, removed Indira Gandhi and took the control of India. And so when intelligence bureau gave this report to Indira Gandhi called him for a breakfast next day at PMO and kept the report in front of him and asked, I am getting report that military is planning to take over. Okay. And then he said, and Indira Gandhi said, you can't. And to which he replied sarcastically that, Lady Prime Minister, you should say you shouldn't because I can. And then Indira Gandhi asked about the report, and to which she clearly replied that whatever happens in Delhi is not the concern of Indian military. Indian military ka task is to stay at the border and guard the border. Okay, and he clearly told Indira Gandhi that Indian military will never leave its bunkers. Military will never come to solve the political constitutional problems of India. Political constitutional problems of India are the problems of Indian people. Then they should know how to fight, okay, for these problems. Gandhi has taught Satyagraha. All these political instruments are available. Okay, they should go to jail or whatever they can. But a military will never leave the bunkers. And this is how politically neutral reke, how to serve the country. These people did this foundation of this democratic nation, how armies can remain neutral. Because when armies become political, what happens is what is happening in Pakistan or in Myanmar side. And many other countries, or where you have the monarchies and so on. And that's why, guys, democracy, you can't forcefully introduce on any people. You need the mentality for democracy to survive. Because in Afghanistan, when Taliban took over, okay, Afghanistan ke soldiers were dropping their weapons and running away. Okay, Indian soldiers or American soldiers don't have any responsibility to give you a democracy if you are not ready to fight for your own democracy. And that's why you can't force democracy on the people. Sare Middle East ke Arab Spring fail because of first, people have mentality which is extremely orthodox, medieval mentality. Okay, still religion is so dominant in people's mind, and you teach them where no social reforms had happened, and you teach them, okay, or forcefully try to implement democracy on them, it is going to collapse. But in India, this foundation of these democratic values, this Gandhi was focusing on, or Gandhi, Nehru, Patel, Ambedkar, all these people were focusing on, why India survived as a democracy, as a nation. And so, and same way, there was one incident, that one video you will get on YouTube, that when Musharraf took over the Pakistan, he had one meeting of his all political science thinker and other people to give him a suggestion about what reforms that Pakistan needs, constitutional reforms. And the topic or agenda was how to strengthen democracy in Pakistan. Now, military general who has removed democratically elected prime minister, okay, is asking, and become president of Pakistan, is asking how to strengthen democracy. Arey Musharraf, you just leave your post and let the democratically elected PM govern. Okay, by doing that you are strengthening the democracy. But tragedy was, military general who took over Pakistan was asking people, give me a suggestion to strengthen democracy. And in that there was one guy who horribly scolded or trolled Musharraf. But there he talked 1 hour for 2 minutes about India. And what he said to Musharraf, Musharraf has been to India ka visit karke, he has gone to Pakistan. And he said, you have been to our neighboring country recently, and we should learn from that country something. Because in last 70 years time period, okay, both these countries in last 70 years, okay, were living together. Both this country for last 70 years got same time from the independence. They got independence on 14th August 47, India 15th August 47. And but in the same time period, India, our neighboring country, has strengthened their democracy so much that it never happened that any political crisis got created and military came out of the bunkers and came to solve the country's problem. Military always remained out of the political issues. But India and this way, the way they have strengthened the democracy, this kind of situation never happened. But Pakistan 4-5 times military takeover. And there was one poster of a Jinnah behind Musharraf, and he said that poster of Jinnah that is behind you, okay, Jinnah in that poster is asking you that, General, you are the military head, what are you doing in the parliament? And that's what, guys, this strengthening of the democracy. And eventually, finally, 2014 May, now you will see in India a lot of Gandhi statue getting demolished, or a lot of WhatsApp, Facebook page, whatever message being spread. Doesn't matter even if you demolish all the statues of Gandhi in India, okay, you can hate Gandhi, you can ridicule Gandhi, you can criticize Gandhi, okay, but you can't be Gandhi and you can't escape Gandhi. Because doesn't matter how many statues of Gandhi are there in India, much more of than that. These statues are there across Europe and even in America, Europe and all those countries. But in 2014, India's External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj was called by British Parliament to inaugurate the statue of Gandhi. And this statue was very significant, or has special importance, because that statue they erected in the gate of a British Parliament, at the gate of British Parliament, in that Parliament complex. Now in that British Parliament complex, there are only statues of a British Prime Ministers, not even other people. Gandhi was the only person whose statue they erected there, who wasn't even their citizen, rather who criticized their government or acted against their government. He was their foremost enemy. And just to tell you one incident, how much British used to hate Gandhi, that in 1940 to 44 time period, when Second World War was going on, there was a horrible famine going on in Bengal. Lakhs and lakhs of people were dying out of food shortage. And that time, Australia one food shipment, wheat ka shipment was coming to Calcutta, and by docking in Calcutta, it was going to go to Europe. Not because there was soldiers fighting World War were hungry, it was going as a buffer stock. And later on, next 1 or 2 months, new shipment was going to go to Europe. And so, one ICS officer who felt very sad seeing so many people dying, wrote a letter to the Churchill that I am stopping, okay, this shipment. I will unload this shipment here because next shipment is going anyway in next month, and there is so much of buffer stock already. but I need to save these people, so give me a permission to unload. To which Churchill only replied in one line, if so many people has died, why Gandhi hasn't died yet? And this much they were hating, the Churchill was hating. Churchill statue is also there, and near or in same complex, they were planning to erect Gandhi statue, wasn't even their citizen, forget about being prime minister. And that to inaugurate that, Sushma Swaraj was called. But the issue, guys, okay, why they were erecting that statue, and even they had a special condition while erecting that statue, that statue should be at the gate on the road up a Parliament Street, because Gandhi was common man's leader. So every person, okay, who is walking that road should have access to Gandhi statue, so they can click selfie or take a photograph. Because, guys, after 70-80 years, okay, British and all world realized what happened in French Revolution, what happened in Russian Revolution, what Stalin did, what Lenin did. They have seen what Mao Zedong did, what Pol Pot did in Cambodia, okay, what this Mussolini, Hitler or Japanese did. And after this, all these guys, they realized if democracy is to survive, constitution is to survive, society, community, religion is to survive, then there is no other way, okay, than the way that this person advocated, the Satyagraha technique. Only way we can survive in a civilized democracy, okay, is by doing this Satyagraha. And so whether you like Gandhi or you don't like Gandhi, but you can't escape this idea that he advocated. And that's why, okay, first they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, and then you win. And so that's all basic ideas that I wanted to discuss with you, the life journey of Gandhi from Mohandas to Rashtrapita. So odd thing about assassins, Dr. King, is that they think they have killed you. But people you can kill, the ideas remain, and whether you like or you don't like, Gandhi's ideas are those universal ideas. And now, guys, whatever I have discussed till now is just very basic of Gandhi, just life journey, just a story of Gandhi. Real Gandhi is much more heavy than this. And so in our app classes, when we will discuss, okay, this Gandhi ke technical points, but now these technical points you will understand in much better way. Okay, his awesome ideas about Swaraj, village republic, ideas about economy, concept of trusteeship of wealth, trusteeship of knowledge, ideas about ahimsa, satya, ideas about religion, then 7 social sins, science without humanity, knowledge without character, wealth without work, politics without principle. Okay, all these 7 social sins ke idea, and Gandhi's means and morality ke ideas. But once you understand these all ideas very comprehensively, you will be able to write very good answers of ethics paper as well as essay papers. And that's why I wanted to invest so much of my energy discussing all this. Okay, and then once you understand what exactly constitution, democracy, everything is, okay, then you understand automatically this all Gandhian ideas, technical ideas also at a better way, or your entire approach to look at ethics paper changes. And whatever we will discuss in administrative ethics later on, also it will make a great sense to you suddenly when we will discuss that part. So that's all, okay, for now. And so to conclude this, okay, debate, I wanted to conclude with this poem. Now, from childhood, you must have read this or heard about this song, or must have read this poem a lot of times, okay, but then you will see how this was saying ki, without any war or violence, etc., how we got independence, etc. But now I hope you have understood this is not wasn't matter of independence alone, it was a matter of nation building. And so धरती पे लड़ी तूने अजब ढंग की लड़ाई, तागी न कही तोप न बंदूक चलाई, जब जब तेरा बिगुल बजा जवान चल पड़े, मजदूर चल पड़े थे और किसान चल पड़े, हिंदू मुसलमान सिख पठान चल पड़े, कदमों पे तेरे कोटि कोटि प्राण चल पड़े. सो दे दी हमें आज़ादी बिना खड़ग बिना ढाल, साबरमती के संत तूने कर दिया कमाल. And so why finally, okay, what nation building that he wanted to do. And I told you that this term freedom fighter is that way very petty term for these people. Like this Gandhi, Nehru, Patel, Ambedkar, Bose, Bhagat Singh, all these people I told you were nation builders. The way they created this India as a nation, the nation that they gave to us. So let's see the technicalities in next class.